So I'm going to be completely honest. I have been wrong about the National Rifle Association. For the last 40 years, I have believed that the NRA was nothing more than an evil organization that only cared about firearm manufacturers and the sale of firearms. Like, I was completely ignorant to what the NRA is actually about. And as I alluded to before, this channel is to some degree or another about my exploration of firearms. And the NRA is a huge part of firearms, for better or worse. And so in this video, I want to talk about some of my observations and my epiphanies. Stay tuned. Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. As I alluded to in that intro, I have been ignorant for the last 40 some odd years about the NRA. And I can tell you that I believe that one of the most empowering things is to acknowledge when you don't know something and then put a plan in place to actually improve your understanding of that thing. That is essentially, to some degree or another, what this channel is all about. And recently I spent some time learning about the NRA because I was curious about the organization. I've heard a lot about this organization over the decades. And again, I always thought that it was an evil organization that had no real interest in the people. I assumed that it was more about gun manufacturers. And so I wanted to challenge some of those assumptions. And I started to do some research, and I jumped on the website and I learned about the history of the NRA and all the things that the NRA has done to drive gun education and gun safety, and then also all of the legislative efforts that really are around protecting the rights of the average citizen to own and possess firearms. As someone that grew up in Detroit, Michigan, a city with a tremendous amount of violence, just generally speaking, the NRA, to me, was evil. That is what my understanding of the organization was. And apparently, that is just inaccurate. And so I am in the process of continuing to learn about the NRA, and I'm reading a lot of the public statements. I'm watching videos. I'm listening to the spokespeople. I'm trying to evaluate and assess the role that they play and what role I might want to play with them. And to that point, I recently had an opportunity to check out a really interesting video. This is an old video featuring an NRA spokesman and also a rapper. And this was like from 4 years ago. And I watched this conversation twice. And I was honestly blown away just by the nature of the conversation, but also specifically about what they were saying about the NRA. My perceptions of the NRA and were similar to what this rapper expressed. I did not think that this was an inclusive organization, and I'm finding that that is not accurate. I recently had an opportunity to meet a couple of NRA members who were nothing but welcoming and inviting. And that's not to say that all NRA members are that, but my perception of the NRA was directly challenged by the personal experience that I had with these individuals. And it challenged everything that I believed to be true about this organization, coupled with everything that I've been reading about this organization, combined with the video that I watched. And so this has been just a fantastic journey thus far. And honestly, it is pointing me in the direction of actually joining the NRA. And there are a couple of reasons for that. Over the decades, I've always heard that they're coming for your guns, they're coming for your firearms. I kind of sort of believed that to just be dog whistle stuff. I never really believed it to be true. I thought that it was more of one of those things to gin up excitement about elections and things like that. But based upon a lot of the stuff that's happening right now, I kind of sort of feel like it's a little more real than maybe it was before. And to the point that I was making before about the role that the NRA plays in terms of protecting people's Second Amendment rights, I think that this is an organization that I have to support so that I can continue to exercise that right, because that right is being challenged. And so on my desk here, I have an NRA card that found its way to me, and I do believe that I'm going to actually complete this and sign up for my membership. I'm not certain if I'll be attending any of the conventions, but I think protecting the Second Amendment is a critical thing, and the NRA is a great way to do that. I think that there are also some other organizations out there that are geared towards protecting Second Amendment rights. If you know of some of those organizations, please leave those comments down in the comment section, because I'm interested in learning about those organizations. I'm also curious as to what your thoughts might be. Do you believe that this current movement that's happening right now is a legit thing in terms of being able to take people's guns away? Is this a real thing, or is this much to do about nothing? Is this very similar to the things that we've heard over the last few decades, or is this something new? Is there a different tone and tenor that you're hearing? So leave those comments down below. And if you are interested in reaching out to me, you can actually do it on Instagram. I have a new Instagram account that is set up. Unfortunately, the first one was deactivated by Instagram. I guess they did not like whatever it was that I was doing, so I had to recreate it, but it is all set up. So if you want to reach out to me, you can actually do that using the details down below. Tune in for the next video, which I hope to be releasing on a weekly basis, maybe a couple of times a week. I don't know. Stay tuned.
I painted 10,000 poems in 1,000,000 years of history. Through these rap heroics, I painted 10,000 poems in 1,000,000 years of history. Through these rap heroics.